Okay, so we're given a graph f of x, and we're told that it's going to be restricted. Okay, restricted from 3 comma to infinity. So 3 to infinity means it's the right side. So we're talking about only the right side of the graph that we're given, and we're asked which of these graphs will represent f negative 1 of x. F negative 1 of x means the inverse. Okay, the inverse is when the x and the y coordinates are switched. So what I want to do is I want to locate a point on the original graph. In this case, the vertex is going to be an important point, and label that vertex. So 3, negative 7 is my vertex. And because I'm looking for the inverse, that 3, negative 7 is going to switch and become negative 7, comma 3. So what I got to do is I got to look for these answer choices and look for which one has the correct coordinate, negative 7, comma 3. Only one of them has the negative 7, comma 3, answer choice B. But before I move on, I do want to address that on your ACP, you might have some questions in which you're going to have to find more than one coordinate to find the correct answer. So I'm going to pick a second coordinate, 5, comma, negative 3. And if I do the inverse of 5, negative 3, I get negative 3, comma 5. So if I graph negative 3, comma 5, I see that again it lands on the graph for B. But you want to be thorough this way, and you always want to pick 2 points when you're checking things to make sure that there's only one possible answer that fits. Okay, question number 2 is another graphing equation, and we're given a parabola. So let's identify the vertex. The vertex is being used 3 units to the right, 1 unit down. So the vertex is at 3, negative 1. And I read that before, that if the vertex is at 3, negative 1, what that tells me is that the inside 3 needs to be a minus 3, and the outside is going to be a minus 1. So it's not A and it's not C because they'll say plus 3 on the inside. And before I graph these, I also need to identify coordinates that are going to be on this graph. So I see right here that it touches the point 2, comma, negative 3, and it also touches the point 4, negative 3. So now I'm going to graph these. Okay, now I'm going to graph these, and I'm going to check when I'm going to graph B first. Okay, you graph your equation, and you use menu 5-1 to trace, and I need to really locate whether it actually touches the points 2, negative 3 and 4, negative 3 or not, which means I got to type in the number 2. It gives me 2, negative 4. That's not correct. I type in the number 4, and it gives me 4, negative 4. That's not the negative 3 I was looking for. So if I change answer choice B to C, I put it a 2 instead of the 3, and I do menu 5-1, I can check and type in 2, and it does give me 2, negative 3. And if I type in 4, it does give me 4, negative 3. So that's how I know for sure the answer choice is D, not B, even though B looks very, very, very similar.